Alright, so we're actually going to head out to the track first because there might be some horses out there still from training in the morning. So as we walk along here, you're going to see all these names over here. These are all the Derby winners from every single year. It starts over there in 1875. And I'm going to talk about that more when we come back this way. Has anyone been here to Churchill Downs before? Alright, well, we do have races here in several months a year. We have May and June. They kick off with the Derby week, and then we go through May and June. We also have races here in September and a little bit in November as well. So the area we're coming to over here, you're going to see these green stairs. That leads up to the jockeys' quarters. So that's an area for the jockeys on race day to kind of hang out. They have beds there, a kitchen, also all their gear's up there. And most of the jockeys here are going to be about 5'2", and they're going to weigh about 115 pounds. But one of our best jockeys here at Churchill Downs, his name was Pat Day, and he was actually only 4'11" and weighed about 105 pounds. So you might think that because he was so light, he was really good at racing because the horses didn't have to carry as much weight. But it was actually all jockeys carry the same weight, so he really didn't have an advantage. He was just really good. So all jockeys do have to carry the same weight, so they add lead weights into their gear to make sure all the horses are carrying the same weight. So back when this started, a lot of jockeys weren't very honest, and they would try to dump out the lead weights on the other side of the track when the spectators couldn't see them. But now we weigh jockeys before and after every race to make sure there's nothing like that going on. So we are under the grandstand right now. We're just going to head out through here and get over to the track, and then I'll give you another little bit of history out there. Alright, so 8:30 usually is a break for the training, but there are still a few horses out here. See a few down there. There's another one right there. There might be a few more coming by while we're out here. Feel free to spread out in this turf area. I'm just going to ask them to go past that little gate down there to stay in this area. So the dirt track right here is the track the Derby is run on. It's been in the same spot since 1875, and it's over 20 feet deep, filled with 70% sand, 23% silt, and 2% clay. And this track is a mile long, so when they run the Derby, they start down there at that white pole with the red trim at the end. That's our quarter-mile pole. There's some more horses coming by. And they are going to get three things up there. They're going to get the blanket of roses on the horse, they're going to get a solid gold trophy cup, and they're also going to get $1.86 million. So, and if you look on the inside of that, we also have a turf track out here. It's only 7/8 of a mile. And this track is not used as much. A lot of North American horses are bred to run on the dirt, so the turf track we really don't use as much here. But it really just depends on the horse's breeding and also apparently the shape of their hoof. If they're flatter and wider, they're usually better at running on the turf, but it really usually depends on the breeding. Because if the sire and the dam, which are the parents of the horses, were good at running on the turf, their foal is usually going to be better at the turf as well. And then if you look a little further in from these tracks, that is the infield, the big center area of the track. And that area is basically party central on Derby Day. You're going to have about 80,000 people in there. So with all those people in the infield, you probably, if you're out there, you're not going to get a good view of the track, a good view of the Derby. So a lot of people have to look at the screen. But luckily we do have this screen. It is actually the size of 3 NBA basketball courts. It's the largest screen of its type in America. And basically, if you're on this side of the screen, you're going to be able to watch the Derby on that screen, no matter where you are. And that is a really great thing for all those people in the infield who otherwise would not really be getting anything other than the atmosphere and the sound of the Derby Day. And then if you look at the other side, that is our back side. You're going to see the green tops of the barns back there. And we have 47 barns back there. So on Derby Day, we're going to have about 1,400 horses back there. Right now, there's probably about 700 to 1,000. They do work out here in the mornings from about 5 a.m. to 10. This is a break right now, so there's not very many people out there, but this is still the best tour because it's like the only tour that you actually get to see horses out here, really. And they work out here in the mornings. We always keep the track in good condition all day. They'll be watering it, dragging it. There'll be tractors going by to make sure it is in good condition to save the service for the horses to run on. The highest amount of spectators we ever had was about 170,000, a little over that. So basically on Derby Day, Churchill Downs could be considered the third largest city in Kentucky because of how many people are here on that day. So there's a lot of different levels. You're going to have turf club suites, jockey club suites. So come along here. These are the owners' boxes on Derby Day. So any owners who have horses in the Derby get a seat right here. And these boxes along here. If you look over there, you're going to have Millionaire's Row. The mansion is the one with the gold railing. You'll see up there. So basically, the closer to the finish line you get and the higher up you go, the more expensive the ticket is going to be. Up there in the mansion, you're going to have more celebrity-type people, NFL quarterbacks. Beyonce came one year. The Queen of England has also come to the Derby. So it's a very diverse crowd. You can have some royalty up there. You can have college kids partying in the infield. It's a very interesting crowd here on Derby Day. And if you look up here, you're going to see the Twin Spires. So these are a National Historic Landmark. They are protected by the government, so we cannot do anything to change them. They're the oldest part of the grandstand. They were built about 10 years after Churchill Downs was founded here. And they're such a big symbol of Churchill Downs in Kentucky. Of course, we wouldn't want to change them, even though we aren't allowed to. And it's also a pretty good photo op, so if you want to take any pictures out here, now's a good time. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now. If we're good, we are going to head back under the grandstand again.